Well, she's feisty, fearless, intelligent, unapologetic. The cliches that have been often associated with Mahua Moitra. Is there more to the Lok Sabha MP from the TMC? Let's find out. Welcome to UnPolitics, Ms. Moitra. Right there. Hello.
Nobody wants it if the CBI turn up at your parents' house. Nobody likes it. And, I obviously felt very guilty for putting my parents through that.
What's the bag that you're carrying to Parliament nowadays?
I've only got one bag which I carry.
The one which was all over the place.
Which is all over, which I've had and which I carry all the time.
Pankaj Tripathi is your crush.
Yeah, he is. I think he's the coolest actor. I love him. I love the mean bad roles he does. I loved him in Mirzapur. He was in Gangs of Wasepur. After my wedding, the workers came and they said, Didi, second innings, not out khelte hobe.
So Kalyan Banerjee, and it's not the first time he's gone after you. He has gone after you repeatedly.
You don't wrestle with the pig because the pig likes it and you get dirty.
What's on Mahua Moitra's to-do list?
Larger picture is be part of the movement that gets this government out of power.
Ms. Moitra, welcome to UnPolitics.
Please call me Mahua, Preeti, please.
Mahua, welcome to UnPolitics.
Thank you.
And, I can get into long, winding introductions for you, but, that's what the format of the show is. We always allow our guests to introduce themselves to our audience.
I'm Mahua Moitra. I'm a second-time member of Parliament from the Krishnanagar Lok Sabha constituency in West Bengal. And before that, I used to be an MLA in the West Bengal Legislative Assembly from the border constituency of Karimpur, which is where I still live and which is very close to my heart. And way before that, another lifetime, I was a banker with JP Morgan in New York and then in London. And I graduated in economics and mathematics from a liberal arts college in Massachusetts.
Wow. All right. So congratulations are in order, but we're going to hopefully talk about that later.
Okay.
But Mahua, let's talk about your journey from Assam to Mount Holyoke, then JP Morgan, then back to India, and then to the Parliament.
Preeti, it's been an eventful, fun ride. And I guess I'm living proof. And I don't know how interested your viewers are going to be in this, because I've said this many times before. But I'll repeat it again, is that I think I'm living proof that if you set your mind to anything, it can be done. So if you had asked me 15 years ago, when I had no political lineage and I was a banker, taking the tube back from Mansion House Station to South Kensington, and stopping at Waitrose and buying what I was going to eat for dinner, and coming home and making dinner, and I was going to be an MP in Parliament 15 years hence.
So where did that moment of epiphany come from? That this was your calling, this is what you needed to do?
That's one thing I've always known. Like, I always knew I'd come back to India, and I always knew public life was my calling. I knew that. I found a letter from me to my parents when I was in freshman year in Mount Holyoke. So that was 1994. And way back then, I said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to work for a bit, and then I'll come back to India and I'm going to enter politics. I was 19 years old at that time. So I knew I was going to do it. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew I was going to do it. So I've always had that dream, and I guess if you can dream it, you can do it.
What was your life like as a child? Did you come from privilege?
I mean, we came from an upper middle class, comfortable family.
Assam.
And in Assam. I mean, my father was in
Tea State.
State. So it's a good life. It's a fun, good life. And I was one of two sisters, and we had a fun life. My mother was she was very hands-on in some ways, and very kind of let the kids be and be what they want to be in some ways. So it was good. And my father never really interfered. My parents were both quite hands-off parents. They were not like the parents of today. I don't even think my father knew what class I was in when I was in class 10. No, literally. I literally don't even think. I remember.
So who's a bigger influence, your mom or your dad?
They both are in different ways, but I have to say my mom. In terms of perseverance, in terms of tenacity, in terms of you got to do it, you got to do what you got to do. Definitely her.
So how does she look at it right now? Because you're in the news quite often, and sometimes for a parent it could get a little intimidating.
Yeah, no, my mother, I don't think really watches a lot of TV. She's on her iPad, so she sees a lot of stuff. But she's got her own life. She plays a bridge. I don't think, none of my parents have really been that involved. And one great thing about them is that my mom especially, she doesn't live through her children. She's got her own life. She's happy we're there. She's happy if you're doing well. She's happy if you're not stressed out. But beyond that, there are some parents.
But you push boundaries, Mahua.
Yeah, push boundaries. But I mean, she's okay.
And you continue to do so.
Yeah, but she's okay. And my mum, funnily enough, is probably even more rabidly anti-BJP than I am, if that's possible. So when I do something, there are times she'd say, why didn't you do a little bit more? You know, you could have said this or you could have said that. So it's really
when the whole
funny.
Parliament saga was going on, did she ever feel, a little bit, because it was a bit much for a parent to see their child go through what you were going through?
She was really mad, and she was like, you got to go show them. You got to go show them. She couldn't wait for the day of comeuppance.
Well, show them you did.
Yeah, So she was very. In fact, like I said, when most children want to, I too, like a child, as any child would want to protect my parents.
Yeah.
So nobody wants it if the CBI turn up at your parents' house. Nobody likes it, and I obviously felt very guilty for putting my parents through that. But my mother was miraculous. She was just like, we have nothing. When somebody I believe the CBI officer asked her the price of some furniture. He says, when did you get this? What is the value of the furniture in
Right.
our house? And she said, well, I got it made in Assam 40 years ago from the teak that we had. So if I'd known you were going to ask me this 40 years ago, I would have written it down. But sadly, I didn't. So she's quite bindas about that. So they were fine. I have to say, they've never really been a cause of stress that way to me.
Mahua, tell me, so coming back after you won again, after being thrown out of Parliament, what was the first day like?
It's okay.
Was
it was
there a
strangely
sense
calm.
of
It was strangely
redemption,
calm. It was strangely
retribution?
calm. It was strangely calm. Preeti, there are situations in my head when it was happening, you go through what you think it'll be. So I kept running situations through my mind, but actually when it happened, it was complete calm because I knew I would win. I knew the whole thing was a lie as I know it today. I'm sure the CBI will come up with a Mickey Mouse charge sheet. It's not over yet, by the way.
I know that.
So the CBI could well come up with a complete Mickey Mouse charge sheet, and that could well happen.
Over a lipstick?
They could,
What
they
lipstick?
could, but that's the country we live in. I know. And Bobby Brown stopped making that lipstick. Think about it. I think Bobby Brown was so upset at all the infamy this particular shade had got. They were like, they probably said, stop making, so can't even use that lipstick anymore.
With all that's gone down in your life, are you the one that lives by the saying no regrets? Or, for example, do you regret flicking the middle finger on primetime debate?
Oh
with a
my God,
news
not at
anchor?
all. Like I said, it's one of the things that I didn't actually do that. I've said this before. I didn't actually do that. I was wearing a new ring, and I was trying to adjust it. And I always do one,
Right.
2, 3 like that. And I didn't even realize it had happened. I don't think anybody did. It was probably a full 12 hours or 14 hours where somebody screenshotted. This was way back in 2015, when
I know.
YouTube wasn't as prevalent as it is now. I think someone screenshotted it and said, well done. And then someone picked it up and they asked me. And my first reaction was, I didn't do that because I don't do that. And then everyone was like, oh, wow, good for you, you did that. So I said, yeah, great, I own the space. So it's one of those legends that actually wasn't a legend but turned out to be a legend.
And you don't regret it?
Dude,
Would you do it again?
I didn't do it the
You
first
didn't do
time.
it,
I didn't do it the
but
first
would
time.
you do it?
I've never been on it. It's not a channel. It's just a, rabid dog whistling show. I've never been on it again. I don't go on the channel, so.
Are you somebody who possibly regrets? Maybe you would have been a little understated, underplay yourself. Like things would have turned out different. Are there any regrets?
How do you underplay yourself?
No, I'm asking.
I don't even know what it is to underplay yourself. What is it? How do you underplay yourself? I am who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an educated woman with a brain who's been elected I'm one of 78, now 74 women in a country of 140 crore people who have been elected to serve in the Parliament of India. It is my greatest privilege.
So no regrets?
To do that, no.
Of anything
how
you've
would I
handled,
underplay
whatever
it?
you've said, you
Of
do it all
course
over
not.
again?
Of course not. Have you ever seen me apologizing for anything?
No, I'm asking.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Tell me something in the Parliament, because there's... first tell me something, because there's so many pictures that we have of you sitting in the canteen with the other women. There was this latest video of all of you banding together, celebrating somebody's birthday. Have you made allies across party lines? Women, because it seems that
we're all
you
friends,
have.
but you have to understand one thing. I've got many friends in Parliament, and the women come together. But the funny thing about the BJP, now in the India bloc, everyone's a friend. And even within the BJP, there are friends.
Who do you hang with most?
I would hang with probably most of the BJP women. Of course I would, and I do. But that's not the point. You have to understand when the party whip comes.
Right.
None of these women have either the space or the courage to defy the party whip and to stand up for womanhood. They will not. Even when what happened with me, a lot of them came to me in private and they
Right.
said, we feel terrible about this, but none of them would defy the party whip to come out and openly say anything. That's the tragedy of the party whip system. And that's the tragedy of a party like the BJP that doesn't let people be themselves.
Who are your allies in terms of women from the India bloc? I'm sure it's about having a cup of tea, it's
Yeah,
about sharing a laugh.
Literally, most people. There's probably
Who are your friends?
everyone's a friend. You have to understand it's a very small club, for lack of a better word.
Right.
Because we've all had individual stories to come here, but there are only 74 of us. You have to understand. There's 74 of us,
Yeah.
and we've all had. Some of us may be more privileged than others, where somebody's father could have been a chief minister, somebody's father could have been a great leader, somebody's husband is a leader. So in some ways, it might have been easier than probably mine with no political lineage, but in other ways, they've had other challenges. So everyone's had their own story and their own. So in that way, we are very aware of how great the responsibility is on all our shoulders, and everyone's looking at us. And we're vulnerable, and yet we're strong, and we like to hang. And when we're together, you'll be surprised. You'll probably think we're talking about, but we're at the end of the day girls, and we sit and talk about lipstick and saris and all the good stuff as well. We like to hang and talk about cake with orange and the recipe for X or Y. So it's no different from a conversation you would be having with your friends.
What's the bag that you're carrying to Parliament nowadays?
I've only got one bag which I carry. Which
one
is
which
Louis
was
Vuitton
all
bag,
over the
which is
place.
all over, which I've had and which I carry all the time. I'm not a person who changes bags because there's so much stuff in it that
Yeah,
I
don't
could
think
never
we are.
change a bag.
Most of us do, till the time it's fraying at the edges.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I don't do that. So it's that one bag that I use most often. I've got a smaller one that I use once in a while, but otherwise it's the same bag.
Why do you think they caught on to your bag? Because if you look
I
at it,
didn't
there are a lot of bags in Parliament.
But like I said, that it's the troll army of the BJP who have literally nothing to do. So their job is wake up in the morning and decide what meaningless issue you're going to go after.
But what is it? What is it that
They don't have a
gets
life.
under the skin
They-
where
they-
Mahua Moitra is concerned?
Well, you know what? Because I can sit here and tell them they're a bunch of useless losers. And there are very few elected women who've done something with their life who actually tell them that. No one tells them that. India is a misogynist, patriarchal, sexually frustrated society when it comes to men. You know it,
I agree.
I know it.
I
You
agree.
agree? I
Yeah.
agree. Now, they've got their representation everywhere else. If out of India there are men like this everywhere, then what's to say there won't be in parliament and there won't be in government and there won't be in every political party? So, like I said, there's a very large section of India that is deeply misogynistic, that is deeply patriarchal, that is deeply sexually frustrated, and they can't stand to see women in positions of any kind of power. I mean, I'm nothing. I'm a little ant in the picture. If you see what Mamata Banerjee, my chief ministers, had to go through, if you see what Mrs. Gandhi's had to go through, I mean, you just go back in history and see the kinds of attacks they've had to put through. What we've had to go through is nothing.
You getting into the TMC, wanting to, join the party. Is it true it was all about a meeting that happened on a flight?
Yeah, I did meet Didi
Really?
on a flight. That's correct. I did meet her on a flight. I was in the Youth Congress, and I did meet her on a flight. And I sat next to her. And, this Mamta Di, when you meet her it was 2009, I think, 9 or 10, I forget. And she's completely disarming. And she disarmed me, and she was so unlike my idea of what I thought she would be like. But she wasn't chief minister then. Our party was not in power, remember. This was before. I met her, and I was charmed, and that was it. And that was a chance meeting.
What's it like? Do you have an anecdote to share with us about Mamata Banerjee?
I mean, there are so many, but I have to say, Preeti, it's very difficult to think of Didi or to think of Mamta Di as everyone has got an individual bond with her. So everyone's got a strong bond with her, so you feel like she's yours. In many ways, she's a friend. In many ways, she's almost like a mother, where you feel like, oh, she's all mine. And then you realize she's not all yours. Of course, she belongs to everyone else. But she's a person who I've had so many disagreements with her, but
Tell us about
I've
one.
got,
What was the biggest one?
Not like that. I mean,
Is
it's
she
like-
okay to disagree with? Because she looks very stern.
That's the beauty about her.
Every
She
time
has
we
a
interview her,
heart.
she's going to bite her head
No,
off if we're
she
going to ask her
doesn't.
something.
That's the beauty about her. You can disagree with her and live to tell the tale, and it's fine.
Have you disagreed?
And you can disagree with her.
Have you
I've
disagreed?
literally thrown tantrums where I'm like, this is not fair. This is not fair. And she's got angry and I've got angry, and then it doesn't matter. It's like it's with your mother. So I think she is such an amazing person, and she's so sure of who she is, and her fight is so much larger, and her heart is so large. She carries us all along. I'm not the typical. A lot of people come and say, what are you doing in the TMC? I said, I belong in the TMC. I couldn't be in any other party because she lets us all breathe and be who we are.
It wasn't easy for you because what were you called? Meme Sahab when you
I'm
entered?
still called a meme sahib, and I'm proud to be one. I've never
What
tried
is
to
a
be
meme
anything
sahib?
else. I don't even know, but in tea gardens, a meme sahib, a manager's wife is called a meme sahib. So that's what my idea of a meme sahib was.
Right.
So I guess anyone who has Western sensibilities in India is traditionally called a meme sahib. But
No,
given
it came
I've
from
spent-
the TMC. Other than Mamata Banerjee and the likes, has the party accepted you? The cadre, certain
Well,
leaders.
I've won, certainly my cadre has accepted
Yeah.
because I won what is traditionally
Fair and
quite a
square,
difficult seat. So I love my people, I love my cadre. I have very strong emotional bond to my constituency. So I don't think there's ever been a problem. But like I said, the TMC, like any other party, has its share of misogynistic, patriarchal men who probably don't like. I mean, there are many people who, if you see the history of the Congress, the erstwhile Congress in Bengal, through which Mamata Didi came through the ranks, there are many who called her names and said so many nasty things about her. Her struggle was not easy, but she fought it, and she's, 3-time going to become a 4th-time chief minister today.
Well, taking off from their house is the fight for having a Mishti shop in Parliament coming along.
That wasn't my fight.
That wasn't your fight.
No, that wasn't my fight. That wasn't my fight at all.
Okay, so in Parliament, what is it that you eat? What do you like eating in Parliament? The canteen.
I don't like any. I like the old canteen, which I usually take my food from home. So I am very.
Are you very particular about what you
I'm quite
eat?
particular about what I eat, and it's a big joke because I eat dal and bindi every single day of my life.
You're kidding me.
I eat
It's
dal
like
and
Victoria
I eat
Beckham,
bindi.
who only eats fish and I think spinach every
There you
night.
go. I'm
Dal
the
and
posh,
bindi
I'm the
every.
posh girl of. I'm the posh girl of Parliament. There you go. Posh girl in the canteen.
The posh girl in the canteen.
Because Victoria.
How are you posh if you open your dabba with
Victoria,
your bindi
no,
and dal?
taking off from Victoria Beckham. Victoria Beckham was posh spice. So I'm
I
just
know what
taking
you're
off from
saying.
that. So I take my, I've got a lovely hot case from Vaya. And I take that. I'm very proud of it. And it's got a spoon and a fork in it.
Every day,
I take
bindi
it
and
every
dal.
single day. But sometimes when the Andhra Brigade bring lunch, so 2 or 3 days a week, the Andhra Brigade bring keema biryani.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. And Supriya Sule, she brings us khichdi with aloo, which is great. I like that. But otherwise, I have lunch every single day.
Who do you
from
share
home.
your lunchbox with?
Nobody wants to share my lunch. That's the best thing about having dal and bindi. They look at it and go, kya kha rahi hai aap? So nobody wants to share my lunch. I get to eat it all by myself.
So there's nothing that you pick off the canteen. The food's so cheap.
No. It's I have a coffee once in a while.
But that's that.
about it. Yeah, no. And I'm not a big. This canteen isn't particularly good.
The old one
the
was.
old one in the central hall was much better.
What do you like there?
It wasn't that what you liked there. There was nothing which you craved. But if you were really hungry, you could eat a dosa and it would taste quite nice. And I used to quite like the chicken cutlets. But in this one, it's not particularly good.
What is it like, when all those debates are going on? Is there a lot of, because what we see as journalists, what viewers see is chaos, people screaming, speeches being delivered. What do you guys do on the sidelines? Are there notes exchanged? Do you look at each other? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand one thing which really biases the average Indian's idea of parliament is that the ruling party controls Sunset TV. And Sunset TV is the only one who's allowed footage in parliament.
Uh-huh.
So if the government doesn't want you to see something that is going on in parliament, there is no way.
That's been a grouse of you guys.
So
You guys
you
have
won't get to see
constantly.
it. So today, for example, everything was happening, but the camera will only be on the chair and it'll only be on the ruling party who's saying something. So anything we are saying or doing, it doesn't pan on us. Our mics are switched off. So what all of India sees on parliament is not really a true picture of parliament. So when people say, oh, you're disrupting parliament, you don't actually see that we're not disrupting. All we're saying is have a debate. When this particular week, the entire 5 days, parliament hasn't functioned. Do you know why? Because we've said we need a debate on SIR. We want to debate. 56 lakh people deleted in Bihar. It's a joke. It's a mass disenfranchisement exercise going on. In Bihar, we need a debate on it. We want to discuss. That's what the parliament is saying. The opposition is saying. But what is coming across? What is coming across is some guys are shouting and screaming, and the government is saying, "Hum charcha karna chahte hain." अगर आप चर्चा करना चाहते हैं तो टाइम दीजिए और चर्चा करवाइए. You can't be sitting there and saying हम चर्चा करना चाहते हैं and not giving us a time for the debate.
But you've been known, Mahua, for speeches. I still remember the 7 signs of fascism.
My first one, yes.
Yeah, your first speech, and many the BJP said that could imply to the your own government in West Bengal as well. But having said that, for somebody who's keenly watched on her speeches in Parliament, who do you like hearing in Parliament? And that could be across party lines. Who actually speaks well in Parliament?
There are a lot of good Hindi speakers who speak well, like in the Rajya Sabha, I think Imran Pratapgarhi,
Right.
the last speech that Imran Pratapgarhi gave, really
Yeah.
stirred my soul, so to speak, was great in the Rajya Sabha. There are a lot of very good
Who do you
speakers.
admire?
Our party, he was very good. In Hindi, in the Lok Sabha, we have, it depends on the topic. There's not one consistent person every time. It's not always, but there are some speakers who are consistently good. And Abhishek is very good. Abhishek Banerjee from our party, National Justice, he's good. He doesn't speak as often as I would like him to, but when he does, I think he really hits home hard. He's a very good speaker. You have, in the Congress, they have a few good speakers. Samajwadi, Akhilesh is a good speaker. They have, again, there are some people who surprise you in Parliament.
Who does?
You don't expect, like in the last, again, Imran Masood was a great speaker. He stood up the last time and he spoke on the Waqf Amendment. There were a lot of great speakers on the Waqf Amendment. People I didn't think would be as good, but they were fabulous on it. And so I think each topic brings up somebody which is where they feel passionate about and they speak from their heart. The important thing about a good speech is that you must speak from your heart. So sometimes you get a speaker who's aligned with that topic, and that's when it happens. Sometimes you're assigned a topic by the party and you just speak.
Right.
And that's different from somebody who's really speaking from within. So different debates.
Nobody
bring
from
up
the
different-
treasury benches?
There are good people from the treasury benches.
Give me one.
There are, Gadkari is a good speaker. He's a humorous speaker. But it depends again on the topic. Off the top of my head, I can't think of.
Who's the worst?
You really want me to say
Of
that?
course, why not?
Anyone who's looking at a teleprompter, looking at
Who's
sheets
looking
to
at the
speak
sheets?
of, there are loads of them.
Oh, you're the one who'll say it for what it is.
There's lots of people
Give me one.
looking at. There's lots of people who, the problem with the treasury benches now is that they come. It's like they've come deciding that they're going to say X no matter what the topic is. So it's like you ask a person their name and they keep saying, "Oh, today's Thursday." But what is your name, sir? But today's Thursday. Right?
Who was the last one who said today's Thursday?
The point
you
isn't that.
remember.
The point is
You
no.
clearly
The point
remember.
is no. The point isn't that. The point is the topic could be anything, and they will stand up and just.
You're being
say,
very politically
no,
correct.
I'm not being
Give me
politically
one
correct.
name.
I'm not being politically correct. You could have. There's so many.
Give me one.
The last few times, everyone in the trade, Arjun Ram Meghwal, Prahlad Joshi, all of these
All
people
of
will
that.
stand up and speak on anything which has nothing to do with anything, right?
Do you chat with somebody from the treasury benches on this side? Because there are always some good leaders, who
chat with, we don't have political chats, but they're friendly chats.
Friendly, yeah.
In the
Do you
canteen,
get
of
along
course,
with anybody
we
on the
get
other
along.
side?
Sure. I've got friends across. Like I said, I go to the gym in the Constitution Club, and I think sport and physical exercise
You play a
always
sport?
bring together. I used to swim and I used to be in athletics. Now I don't get time for any of that, but I do manage to go and work out at the Constitution Club gym, and where there are a
Daily?
lot of when Parliament's on, pretty good.
Superb.
Yeah, that's good. That's one of the things I
Who
try. and do.
else works out in the...
I don't think they want me to say that on a podcast,
Yeah.
but there are lots of people from the treasury benches who work out,
Okay.
and I think that's always a good. That's also
Yeah.
there are lots of good people across party lines there, so we chat a lot there.
Well, that's good, because that's good to know. Also, like you said, you're very regimented with your food. You look great. And I think that's something that you get very often. So I don't want to, get into
Thank
that.
you.
But, so, no meetha for you?
I like meat. It depends on what I like.
What
I'm
is
not
it?
I
Is
like
it something that you eat on a
fruit.
daily basis,
No,
or
there's
it's like
nothing I like on a daily basis. But if I get a craving for something, I'll eat it. I don't
you'll eat
deny
it?
myself something. Like if I get a craving for milk chocolate with hazelnut or something like that, I'll eat it. Or I like Bengali sweets. So
Ah.
when the good season is on, in which is say November, December, January, February, December, January, February, I have to be a bit careful because I eat a lot of good sweets.
Also, a rasgulla, what do you think? It's from Odisha or West Bengal?
Uh, Orissa has its own rasgulla,
Okay.
and Bengal has their
You know where
own.
I'm getting at.
And yeah, but I fought this out in the house as well. But I like both. I actually like the Orissa rasgulla and the
Right.
Bengal rasgulla. They both make a great rasgulla.
Well,
But I think Bengal has the patent over that.
Bengal has a. How does that conversation pan out at home now?
Well, I think both are being served at the table. Let's leave it at that.
Well, but you're free to talk or not speak about it, but congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You have just gotten married. The pictures were lovely. You looked really lovely.
Thank
That
you.
pink sari was stunning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was it impromptu? Nobody really knew about it, and suddenly we saw pictures. Was it something that you were planning?
No. Obviously, you can't have a wedding. You can't. I
It
mean, you
looked
can't have a
like
wedding.
it,
Yeah, you can't have a wedding. It was a very small wedding. There were only
Yeah.
22, 23 people at the wedding, which is very small. I think there were 22 people at all in all, and it was lovely. All I can say is it was really the happiest. It was the happiest time ever because it was everything that I wanted it to be. It felt like a party more than a wedding because it didn't have any stress around it. Normally, when you do a wedding in India, you're busy with the arrangements, and
Yeah.
at least I've a lot of my friends who've been. I don't
Yeah.
even remember what it was, but it was it's quite stressful. But I think not the fact that we weren't here, and the fact that it was so small, really took the stress factor out of it. So everyone was just having a good time, including me. And I was just really happy and having a good time. And I think that showed when everyone said, where did you get your makeup done? Or where did the truth is, I didn't get any makeup done. And, what did you do with your hair? I said, I had somebody to come in and put some flowers in my hair and do it. And that was great. But I was just happy. And I was with my closest friends and family. So it was wonderful.
You looked happy. I'm not going to ask you about a time frame, but when did you know that this was love and this was something that, because beyond a certain age, what's the point of marriage is something that you hear very often. What made you take that path?
I'm a great romantic at heart. I'm a
Really?
great romantic at heart, and so is Pinaki. And both of us are great romantics at heart.
That's lovely.
Yeah, we are. And when people say, they don't believe in marriage, I've never been someone like that. I've never been that. I believed in the institution of marriage. I was married before to a wonderful man, and I had a wonderful first marriage, and it didn't work out because of distance and whatever
Yeah.
situations happen in life. But I've never been a cynic that, I hate marriage and I'm never going to be married. And I'm a great romantic. I believe in love. As you will see from my past record, I'm always searching for love.
You do wear it on your sleeve.
I'm a believer in love. I'm a romantic at heart, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'd rather love 5 times and be hurt than not love at all. I'm a believer in that. So Pinaki's a great romantic at heart as well. So I think we definitely wanted to be together. We were in love and wanted to be together. And in India, one of the things. I think maybe if I'd lived in another country, it wouldn't be that important. But in India, given what we do and where we live, the dignity there is no concept as a partner. When you ask someone, this is my partner, half the people will look at you and say, acha, business partner hai, kya partner hai, right? Like I said, we live in a deeply misogynist society. So when I knew that I wanted to be with this person and he wanted to be with me, then, it's fine. And none of us are anti-marriage, so it's great to be married. I quite enjoy it.
Is it too personal, or can we ask, was there a proposal?
I think we kind of knew.
You do have a ring, right?
It's nice. Yeah, this is my ring, actually. It's quite lovely. It's quite lovely. It's paired with Pinaki's ring. He has one and I have one. So it's nice. But it's one of those things we knew we were going to get married. So I don't think there was. We just knew. We knew we were. So
how
I don't
did
think
you
anyone
pick the
asked
date,
anyone.
or he picked the date?
Well, it was kind of like, when are the Supreme Court holidays? It was like, when are the Supreme Court holidays? And it was before the Parliament session. So I think it was pretty much. So I think all lawyers, they get a month off in the summer.
Yeah.
So whatever you want to do, you better
gotta do it then.
in those 30 days.
How do you guys spend your time? What do you do? Like, do you play Scrabble?
We don't
You
have
play the
any.
walk-
We've just had no free time. It's crazy because
That's
I'm in
sad.
constituency most of the time. And then when you're in Delhi, it's just really rushed. Like now in Parliament, I wake up in the morning. I tell you my regular day. Wake up in the morning. I'm out of the house by 8:30 to go to the gym. I finish at the gym. I, go into Parliament, and if I'm back for lunch, I'm back for lunch. Pinaki works out at home. He goes to the courts, and maybe he's back for lunch. And then by the time we are finished and come home, like now, he's in conference. And he'd finish conference and come home at 7:38. And usually some people come over or we are invited somewhere, and before you know it, it's 11 o'clock. So it's really been a bit of a whirlwind.
Otherwise, is it like you guys like enjoy a game of Scrabble? You like getting a glass of
I
wine?
love Scrabble.
I know that because I
I
spoke
love
to some of
Scrabble,
your
but,
friends.
But
Yeah.
Pinaki's not a Scrabble person. He's not a Scrabble person at all. He thinks he's going to beat the pants off me if he plays, but having said that, he's never played. He watches Netflix when he's alone.
What you
I
get-
don't
you
watch
d-
TV. I don't watch TV at all.
Really?
I don't watch TV at all. So I prefer he finishes Netflix before I come into town. But we listen to a lot of music together.
What kind?
We like traveling. It's always Hindi, old Hindi songs or classical music.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, so we listen
Your
to-
old Hindi classical songs.
Yeah,
I
we
thought
listen
you'd be
to
like
in-
70s rock or something.
No,
like
no,
that.
no, no, no. I'm not really into English
No,
music.
not into that.
No. We love Pinaki's an encyclopedia on Hindi music, so we listen to a lot of Hindi music, and we sit and chat or something if we have free time. But like I said, we've had very little free time lately. But we love travel when we can,
You do?
and I love cooking. So I cook, and but that's a small sliver of my life. My life is in silos. When I'm in Delhi, I have a different life, and when I'm in the constituency, I have a different life. So when I'm here, I get time to cook and do a few things, but that's not. When I'm in constituency, I'm a
Well,
completely
thank you for
different
sharing.
person.
It's personal, so thank you for sharing that with us. But a lot was said, Mahua, around it as well, and a lot of one would actually call it trash talk came from your own party people. Now I know you wouldn't give a rat's ass or you don't care a damn about what people say, but they were saying it, and
I don't think there was a day. I think it was a he.
Kalyan
I don't think
Banerjee.
there was
So
a day.
yeah,
There
let's
was- there
not
was a
because
he.
I'm glad you say it. So okay,
It
I'll
was a
name
he.
I'll
It was
name
one
the he.
person. It wasn't a
So
they.
Kalyan Banerjee, and it's not the first time he's gone after you. He has gone after you repeatedly. He himself ran a campaign. 2024 elections. I was there. I remember interviewing you, and then I went to his constituency. He ran a deeply problematic campaign against the girl who was standing from the left, which constantly character assassinated that girl. And you guys are all in the same political outfit. How does it really work?
You know, you don't wrestle with the pig because the pig likes it and you get dirty. So that's kind of been my outlook to this whole thing. But like I said, there are deeply misogynistic, sexually frustrated, depraved men in India. And obviously they have their representation in parliament. And that's across all parties.
But I thought your party was different. Why?
No party, I'll tell you-
Why does Mamata Banerjee have a pig pen then?
Every party, unfortunately, and I am district president. And there are people in my district, workers or people who are even close to me, who have one side of them that is deeply problematic. But when you are, I'm responsible for something as tiny as a district. And even within that, there are times where I have to carry, for the sake of carrying along the party and carrying along a great section of people with me, people who've been associated with the party from a very long time. There are things that you will handle. So I think when it comes to Didi, please understand she herself has been through a lot. So it's not that she
Exactly.
doesn't understand it. And she's had to been through a lot, and she tries her best to solve issues. So I have faith that she will solve it when she comes. But you have to understand that sometimes she has to blend situations where certain people have been associated with her for a long time. And there's a price on that loyalty. I understand that. There's a price on that loyalty. So is it deeply emblematic of our party? No.
Or disconcerting?
No. Is it deeply emblematic of our party? Is it symptomatic of our party? No, it's not symptomatic of our party. Is it one outlier? Yes. And if I can choose to the whole world can see that outlier for who he is. I don't need to come out and say anything about him.
You
I
just
think
did. You
every
called him a
single-
pig?
I didn't. I just said I don't wrestle with a pig. I don't wrestle with a pig because the pig likes it and you get dirty. So that's my view to dealing with trolls. That's my view to dealing with misogynistic men everywhere. Have you ever seen me getting into this? I don't get into it.
Let me ask a larger question on that account, because I understand with what you say, and that's a problem with every political party today. There is a price for loyalty.
But you have to see how many is it, and does the party stamp it. Our party doesn't stamp it, and they don't give it a good housekeeping seal of approval.
But we don't
Number
see
one.
any public statements coming at all.
That is unfortunate.
That is
but
problematic.
That is unfortunate. That is unfortunate. But having said that, I think all of India and certainly all of Bengal can see the outlier for what he is, and I think that does me much more good than if I'd gone in there and had a spat. I think staying away from it and letting people see what we have to struggle against every single day and the rubbish that goes on, I think that makes us almost stronger because people can see what we have to put up with.
But Mahua, people can see that, but does your own party see it?
Yes,
does Mamata Banerjee see
she definitely
the
sees that. She definitely sees that. She definitely sees that. She does.
That's more problematic because if you see it and you don't
No,
address it.
she does see that. She does see that. And like I said, when you are running a party and you're chief minister and you're running a large political outfit, it's not always possible for her to act in exactly the way I would probably want her to act. Exactly the same way.
Let me ask you.
Has she never done, is she not doing anything about it? I mean, I can say with a great deal of responsibility that she will do something about it.
Let me ask you a larger question there. So stemming from what you just said, where West Bengal, TMC, Mamata Banerjee is concerned, some would think that of everything that she opposed, of everything that she grew on, the parties become exactly that. When you talk about cartelization of power, that is happening. When you speak to people, they cut money, how, look at the cases that have happened in terms of sexual harassment. There are a lot of questions asked of the women MPs like you, who have been silent on certain issues.
No, we haven't been silent on any issue. Let's start with, you have to understand, Preeti, that we are battling, as any opposition party is. How many opposition ruled states are there? There's only one lady chief minister, and that's Mamata Banerjee. When you look at the opposition states and you look at how biased the media is, if anything happens in any opposition state, people go to town. People go to town. So you take the RG Kaur incident, for example. Initially, they were acting as though the government had gone in there and caused this incident. That's what it was. And we came out and the false propaganda that was out there. And we came out and said, look, that's not what happened. I personally went on air. All of us went on air. Nobody was shying away, but nobody wanted to listen. The BJP had a set story that they put out there, and every day people were going to town with it. So we said, give it to the CBI. We caught the person. The Calcutta police caught the person. We gave it to the CBI. What has the CBI done? The exact same person that the Calcutta police caught was the person accused. They said, oh, it was a gang rape, there were 10 people involved, you're hiding X. Or what has the CBI come back with? Has the CBI come back with anything that the Calcutta police didn't? If it had been a biased investigation, then surely the CBI, with all its power and all its resources, would have come back with something else. So number one, if you see the second situation, which had just happened at the college in Calcutta, day one, every single woman MP came out and said that this is unacceptable. We took, all the three people were arrested immediately.
But the
all
sheer
of us
fact,
came back
Mahua,
with
that
statements.
all these three people were closely associated with the TMC. There were complaints against them. Therefore, the question of the cartelization of power.
It's not a cartelization. I wouldn't call it a cartelization of power, but when you are running a state and you are a party in power, there are people who are directly associated with the party and there are people who are feeding off the party. You'll always have A, B, C, D. You can't stop that anywhere. That's part of the course. So when you have, say, circle C and D and E, and you can't, if it's a direct post holder, you have direct control over it. Now, the person who did it wasn't a direct post holder. What do we learn from it? You learn from it that a person who is no longer associated with the party, that you shouldn't allow them into the college. That's number one. That is, I would say, the slip in the cracks. That is a crack that one has to fix. But did we come out and immediately act on it? So when something happens, how quick do you act on it? That's the difference. You can't stop it from happening, Preeti. You can't. None of us can stop this from happening. But how quickly do you take action? And is there a will to take action? Is what differentiates the wheat from the chaff. What happens in the BJP-ruled states? There is no action. In Bengal, every single time there has been something. Within 24 hours, there's action. That's the difference. It's not that it doesn't happen. I mean, you take the cases in UP, there is no action. Nothing happens. You had an MP's son run over people in a car. What happened? Every single day, what are the Kavariyas doing in UP every single day? Where is the action? You cannot today, a Muslim cannot offer namaz on the roof of his own house and you are closing the Delhi Meerut expressway for 7 days. I mean, just think about it. So it's only that you're going after opposition ruled states. And I could set it on record, and I've said this every single time. We're the only party that takes action. Even if it's one of our own, we have expelled people, we have suspended people, we've gone out and put our neck on the line.
Okay, so you don't Netflix. I don't want to say it. It just sounded so wrong.
It sounds quite terrible, doesn't it? I know.
Say that. Yeah.
I know. We can't use it as a verb.
So you don't.
One of the non-verb words.
Yeah. So there's no. You don't OTT. You're not. You're not watching any of the
I download
series.
stuff on a while, and when I'm on a flight, I'll watch it.
Only on a flight.
Yeah, only on a flight. Even then, I don't have the thing to watch the whole thing, but sometimes I'll watch it.
Do you watch movies?
Sometimes I'll download something on a flight and watch it.
That's it. Nothing.
Yeah, that's
Do you
it,
read?
that's it. I read. Yeah, I read, but
You
not
read.
as much as I would like to. I'm just so busy reading, newspaper articles or stuff that I don't really have time to read like a proper book.
Do you ever regret this life that I should have just been the vice president at JP Morgan?
No. I mean, how can you even ask the question? Like I said,
You've had
I'm
it tough.
74 women out of a nation of 140 people. I would have lived and died a life in JP Morgan. There are countless VPs in investment banking, apart from their wives and their wives
Amount
and
of stress
husbands.
it's given you.
But what has it given me on the other side? Think of the amazing amount of work I've been able to do. I mean, it's a blessed, privileged life. It is. I count my blessings every single day, Preeti.
So no Bollywood, no Hollywood. You don't watch any movies. You're very boring that way.
Once in a while, if I have time, I watch. Like, what was there? Like, there are a few films I watched that I like. I love, like, I'll watch the Munna Bhai series again. I watched, what is that one with the Vicky Dona? I love that film. I watched it. Then the other day, I saw this something Ki Dulhania, something I could watch only about some of it. I love Pankaj Tripathi. What's his name?
Pankaj Tripathi. Yeah, I don't watch so much. So
Yeah, but there's this guy who was in Mirzapur. I watched the entire Mirzapur series.
Okay, so you
I even wrote him a note.
You wrote him a note,
which he never replied to, but I wrote him a note.
I don't think he got it.
He's my crush.
Really, Pankaj Tripathi is your crush?
Yeah, he is. I think he's the coolest actor. I love him. I love the mean bad roles he does. I loved him in Mirzapur. He was in Gangs of Wasipur. I love him.
And you wrote him a note and he never got back.
I wrote him a note. I did an interview.
Mahua Moitra wrote Pankaj Tripathi a note.
Yes,
what did the note say?
I said, I'm a big fan. I'd love to meet you for a coffee. But apparently he stays in Alibag and doesn't meet anyone for a coffee.
You're kidding me.
No, you know how I sent it?
This was before Pinaki Mishra?
No, I keep talking about it all the time. No, this was when I was being interviewed by an anchor. Right. And she said, I'm going to interview Pankaj Tripathi next. And I said, oh my God, are you? Would you give him a note? So I gave her a note. And then there was this time when Ravi Kishan, who's the MP from Gorakhpur.
You get along with him?
Yeah, he's really funny.
He's quite a riot.
So he says, "Oh, to mera dost hai." So he was talking to him one day. I said, "Mujhse baat kara dijiye." So one day in the old Central Hall.
He's in BJP, all of that. Why would he make you do any favors for you?
No, he made me speak to Pankaj Tripathi on the telephone. He did.
Did you tell him I sent you a note?
I think I was a bit shy. I don't think I did. I said hello and I'm a big fan. There you go.
So Ravi Kishan, someone you get along with from the BJP.
He cracks me up.
How do you guys? Because okay, to be honest,
he cracks me up. He's really funny.
But to be honest, for somebody from the outside, a Mahua Moitra and a Ravi Kishan really, the twain meeting is improbable.
No. It's great. He's wonderful. He cracks me up.
He cracks you up.
He cracks me up. He's wonderful. Yeah. And I saw that film. I love that film, which he was in. About the Lapata ladies.
Yeah, he was very good.
He was great. He's great in that. He's great. I love him. There are a few guys that I love. I love him. I love that. I don't remember all of their names, but I love that genre of Hindi cinema.
Well, there are a few in Parliament who are obsessed with you. Nishikant Dubey for one. What is it?
Like I'm going to go back to my wrestling analogy.
With the pig.
With my wrestling analogy.
Okay, so you don't want to even get into
life's
it.
too short.
No, that bit I agree. What is it? In your
I have a life. What can I say? I mean, I actually think I'm quite lucky. I think imagine there are so many people that you don't know that I don't spend a minute thinking about these people. And they spend their lives obsessing about me and giving interviews and, having press conferences about me. It's quite wonderful. I mean, think about it. Think about how these people matter nothing to me. I don't even care whether they live, die, nothing happens. They're of no consequence to my existence. And I am a source of
When was the last time you spoke to Mamata Banerjee?
I speak to her.
Very often?
Yeah, not very often.
Is it a formal conversation or is it...
It depends on what we're speaking about, obviously. I mean, of course.
How did she wish you for your wedding?
She was happy. She was very happy. She was like, she was very happy for both of us. She said, be happy. Great, she gave me a lot of love and affection. And
Do you get along better with Mamata Banerjee or Abhishek?
I get along both with them, but the relationship is
They're very
different,
different,
obviously.
which
But
is?
Abhishek's a love. He's lovely. He's lovely, and he's like I said, he's really, really come into his own. He's really come into his own, and I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of him as the next generation.
So he is. So you say he's the next generation. So
He's the
Abhishek.
next generation, as all of us. He's the next generation of leaders in
So
India.
Abhishek is the heir apparent. It's clear.
Look, Mamata Banerjee is the leader of our party, right? And she's a leader of our party. When I say next generation, I mean the next generation of the political class in India. So when you see them standing up in parliament and you see anyone under the age of 40, even I'm 50, when you see young
don't look
speakers
it.
under the age of 40 stand up and speak like that with passion and really take on the government and play their role as opposition MPs. And you see Ikra, you see so many of these, and I'm very proud of him. I'm very proud of the hard work that he's doing and all of that. And
But Mahua, you do understand that there are political leaders, not just outside your party, but in your party that resent you, and for a while. So that Maim Sahib tag had stemmed from your party, not outside.
like I said, I don't care about this. I don't even care about it. You can't. If you want everyone to like you, sell ice cream. If you want everyone to like you, sell ice cream. Don't go fighting for a Lok Sabha seat in the greatest democracy in the world.
Do you
This
get
isn't a
along?
popularity contest within your own party.
Do you get along with leaders from your own party?
I mean, as much as I need to, sure.
So they're no like real friends that you can pick up
Of
the
course
phone
I
and
have
say,
real
this
friends.
is
No,
what
of
went
course,
down.
no. That's not true. That's not true. I
Give
have
me a
real
name.
friends. I have real friends. I have real friends. I get along with a lot of the MPs. We're great friends. I mean, June, Shani, we're all great friends. I think Pratimadi, we're all great. Shatabdi, we're great friends in Parliament. And there's a really strong bond among the women leaders. And even in my constituency, I think I have great friends across my cadre who have been with me through thick and thin. You have to understand, as you get older in life and in our life, you don't seek the same thing from your friends. Do I
That's
seek
true.
the same things from my friends in politics as I do from my friends who went to Mount Holyoke? No. If I want to talk about a pair of shoes that you're getting in New York, I want to talk about American politics, am I going to discuss it with somebody in Karimpur? No. If I need to talk about what is happening in Bengal politics and what do you think is going to go forward or how should I handle this challenge, you go to different friends for different things, and I'm sure you do the same thing. So we have a variety of friends, as I do in my life, and there are some friends, my college friends, who I'm very close to. We're like sisters, all of us, and they were all at my wedding, and they were all at my 50th birthday. So that girl gang, I can't call ourselves the women gang yet, but the girl gang is who I turn to for most things in my life. But there are other people in my life that I
Do you
turn
think
to.
things and people would have been kinder if you hadn't outrightly attacked the Prime Minister and the Home Minister?
That's my job.
Because you
That's-
verbalized it, and so many times.
That's my
and
job. That's what
things would have been easier if you
That's
had
my
it.
job. That's my job. I'm here, as I said, as an opposition MP in a fascist majoritarian ruling party that is trampling on our constitution. What am I supposed to do? Sing paeans to the Home Minister and to this Prime Minister?
What's your outlook with this whole language,
This is
war,
a deeply
controversy,
this
whatever?
is a deeply problematic, troubling issue for all of India, and people should wake up to it. This is how every fascist movement
But they're
and
saying it's not-
genocides.
but they're saying
let
it's
me
not
finish,
imposition.
Let
Yeah,
me
yeah,
finish.
make your
It
point.
is linguistic when you are being discriminated against on your linguistic identity. That is the beginning of the end. Okay. So when you see what is happening with Bengali migrants all over India today, there's no law. There's an illegal May 2nd, 2025, an illegal MHA notification that was sent to just the BJP ruled states, not to the chiefs. Our own chief secretary didn't even know about it. And it basically allowed them to go pick up anybody they wanted and detain them for 30 days on the pretext of verification. Now, you're a migrant worker who's working everywhere. If you see all of us, now in Gurgaon, for example, who are the residents of Gurgaon? The original residents of Gurgaon sold their land, bought big SUVs, and go around driving those big SUVs and drinking beer on the highways now. Those are the original residents of Gurgaon. So who is
This
who
could
is
get you into
Gurgaon?
trouble.
It's fine. It is what it is. I mean, so who are the residents of Gurgaon? You have these high rises in Gurgaon, expensive high rises. Who lives in them? They are techies from
Yeah.
Karnataka, from Hyderabad, from everywhere. Are they not migrants? Why are they not called migrants? Because they're rich and they have a higher salary. So anyone who doesn't belong, who has come out of their state in search of work, is technically a migrant. Yes or no? Yeah. So everyone who's living in Gurgaon today, Gurgaon's entire ecosystem is built by migrants and inhabited by migrants. So people who have come from Bengal, who are working in Gurgaon, just because that person is a maid, she's looking after your children, she's a nanny for your child. She's cooking the food in your house that you are working all day, you come back home, you're eating that food. These are people who are keeping the ecosystem going. They are Bengalis from my constituency, from Nadia, from Murshidabad, from all of these places, who have a right to live and work anywhere in India. Article 19D, fundamental right. Article 19G, the right to profess any livelihood and the right to go anywhere freely within the territory of India are fundamental rights. How can you say you're speaking in Bengali, you're a Bangladeshi, and you've got to prove it? Who are you? Who are you? So by that logic, I can say you're a mass murderer because you're speaking Gujarati. Where does this stop? Where does this stop? How dare you pick up our people? How dare you pick up our people and put them in illegal camps and put them through this harrowing experience of what is the protocol? If you think they've all got Aadhaar cards, today no migrant who is working out of Bengal or any other state, I can put on record, nobody travels without their Aadhaar card. Everyone travels with their Aadhaar card and their voter card and with some form of identity. There's no cash economy anymore. Most of migrant workers have bank accounts through which they send home. So most of them have even bank accounts. So you want verification? Everybody has documents. You want them verified? So please speak to the SP of the concerned district in Bengal. They will verify it and send you the verification report. That's the standard operating protocol and has been for years. You don't pick up lakhs of people or thousands of people everywhere and terrorize them and put them in illegal detention camps.
Tell me something. Do you like Delhi?
No, you're changing the topic.
Oh,
Just because it's a podcast and we're talking about, I'm equally happy to talk about my fun wedding, but then I have to be given the freedom to talk about.
I'll come back to it. Do you
this
like
as
Delhi?
well? I mean, Delhi's not my city.
You're passionate. I have to give you that.
Yeah.
Like,
Delhi is
you're
not my
very
city.
passionate.
Delhi is not my city. It's a city in which it's where the seat of power and the seat of parliament is. But Delhi is not my home. It's not my home. I'm very much a Bengal person and I'm very much a Nadia person. So my home is and always will be.
Is there something you like about Delhi?
No, I don't dislike Delhi. I don't dislike any place. I don't dislike Delhi, but it's just another place. I don't put much thought into it. When I'm here, it's okay. When I'm not here, I don't miss it.
Are there places that you go to once in a way?
I mean, Delhi, it's fine. I like my home in Delhi. It's an oasis. And I like my home. I like my kitchen in Delhi, which lets me cook, which I've done just the way I like.
It's just your home and the parliament and that's it. And you go
pretty
back.
much. I'm not really, I'm not really.
Like to go out to a restaurant or to go for a walk.
We don't have the time much to go around in the restaurant. And I have this theory, whenever we go out to a restaurant, I always come back and tell Pinaki, he laughs about it. I came back and say, oh my God, that's how much it costs. I can make it for half the price and it tastes better. So I'm always doing this. So I'm not much of a restaurant person. I'm always saying, oh
Really?
my God, is that what we paid for it? I can always cook it better and cheaper. So that's funny.
Really? Your husband actually looks at the bill?
No,
at the
he
restaurant.
doesn't. I do. And
You
I'll
do?
always be like,
Oh.
oh my God, is that what we paid for it? I can always cook it better. So I'm always trying to replicate dishes at half the cost.
Now, let me get back to Bengal. So, with what you just spoke of, do you see, because you're in an election year now, you're going into elections next year, that what the last election played on, the government's practically given it to you on a platter, where it's nationalism and sub-regionalism. And you guys are doing it. You're already, the Asmita rallies are all about that. There is anti-incumbency. I'm sure you understand that.
Yeah, we've been in power it's a fourth term. Mamata Banerjee is on her way to becoming a fourth term chief minister, and we are coming back. Now, the nature of the universe is that people will like change. Even if you give everything to everybody and every government that gives them everything, there will always be some desire for change on the ground. But the issue is this government, and with my hand on my heart, I can say this, that the Mamata Banerjee government for Bengal has done more for the state and more for the people of Bengal than any other government has ever done and will ever do. It is a government of the people, by the people, for the people. And Mamata Banerjee is a leader who is for the Bengali people. And people know that. She's their mother, she is their daughter, she is their sister, she is their Matri Roop in every way. And that's something that you see from top to bottom all over Bengal. And yes, are there places where we could improve? Of course we can. But Are we listening to it? Yes, we are. We're on this continuous revision process. Like the electoral rolls, the government always is on a continuous revision process, and we have outreach programs where we're listening to people. And when people put in complaints, we try and institutionally try and fix the error.
I'm going to just take the last 5 or 10 minutes, but Mahua, the fact is, there is this certain amount of restlessness which is attached to the youth, especially in West Bengal, because that's all that they've seen is the rule of Mamata Banerjee. And there is this bit of resentment that they've fallen out of, or they've fallen through the crevices where development is concerned, be it industries, be it...
Have you seen the latest Niti Aayog report?
No, I'm asking you.
So I think that again is a myth that is perpetrated by the ruling party, and it's quite strange because even with all their propaganda, they can't shut up their own reports. So when you see the latest Niti Aayog report, Bengal has actually created more jobs and has done better on development indices, on many. India as a whole has 25% youth unemployment. As a whole, unemployed youth in India, 25 to 40, is 25% youth unemployment all over India. This was a national government that came in saying that we're going to give you how many crore jobs a year and how many lakhs in your bank. This is not a problem which is endemic to Bengal, but Bengal as a state has done more for employment
but
than any other
Mahua,
state.
infrastructure, like, okay, I'll give you an example. Driving from Calcutta to your constituency, we cried tears of blood.
You know what? I would really suggest that you go speak to Mr. Nitin Gadkari, who's Minister of Highways. When you're traveling from Calcutta to Nadia, that's a national highway.
I did ask that.
That's a national highway 34, and that from a very large stretch of it has not been done. I went and spoke to him, and he did, and some part of it has now been done. So it's a little better than what it used to be. But again, if you see the roads, why are people voting in Mamata Banerjee? If there was no development on the ground, if I see within my constituency, I mean, it takes me very little time now within my constituency. There are pakka roads everywhere. And we're not responsible for the state of the national highway. But if we were not providing roads, if we were not giving infrastructure, believe me, we would not have been coming back for a fourth
So you don't think development, infrastructure,
no, those
industries are issues?
In the development and infrastructure are where we have scored 9 on 10.
Tell me, what's the negative then?
There's negative in every government. There will be a negative in every government in that, yes, can we do better? Of course we can do better.
Okay.
And there is going to be anti-incumbency. There is going to be anti-incumbency, and there's the usual tags of you're not doing this, you're not doing, you can't make everyone happy. So yes, can we do more? Can we do more development? Yes, you can. But when we are talking about last mile connectivity and last mile reach out, I don't think any government has been able to do it the way we've done it. Like I live in a predominantly rural constituency. I have only one municipality and 82 panchayats in my area. Every single household has been touched by some government program or the other. When I see the rate of children enrolled in school, when I see institutional deliveries, when I see maternal mortality, when I see the ASHA coverage, when I see the Kanya Shri schemes, when I see all of these schemes, and I see the rate that we have hit. We have things like 96% coverage under the Lakhi Bhandar scheme. Think about it. You have the Maharashtra government which comes to power saying they're going to do Ladli Behna, and the minute they come to power, they stop the scheme. We have gone on and on and on and on. So, if you're looking for someone to point out the negatives of the Mamata Banerjee government, it's certainly
I was
not
asking
me.
you.
It's certainly not me.
I have to take my chances. Okay, so my last two questions. One, I would like you to speak on Hemanta Biswa Sarma, because you spoke about the migrant issue so passionately. And I would reckon a lot of that issue stems from Assam, where it all started. And
the Bengali Khedao Andolan
exactly.
started in Assam. We were from Assam, and the Bengali Khedao Andolan started
and
there.
Now, those who speak Bengali, as per the Chief Minister, are problematic and are Bangladeshis.
So, at some level, you feel sorry for the level of ignorance of these people. And the other side, there's no greater tragedy for India, where people who are this divisive, this hate-filled, and this ignorant are in seats of power. And when you say, why don't you take action? When you're saying, Mamata Banerjee is not taking action against one misogynistic human being, much as I would like her to, the flip side of that is you have a chief minister who is spouting this kind of invective, hate-filled invective, and the BJP is not saying something about it. Think about it. Think about it. I mean, what do you say? What do you say? Everyone who speaks Bengali is good. I mean, I'm on your show, otherwise I would really like to say something that you'd have to bleep out on your show. But honestly, Mount Holyoke, We had a word for this, but
Which is, we'll beep it out, but
you know, but I wouldn't spell it out.
oh Lord, yeah, okay, no. Keeping up with Mamata Banerjee is quite a bit because I remember me and, a senior journalist, Rajdeep, we were on ground and we were tracking her and she walked so fast that Rajdeep was walking next to her and he passed out. He actually passed out because she was, walking at the speed that she was walking. And it's difficult to interview her like that. But do you have a moment with her? Because I guess you...
Speaking of walking stories, I walk very fast also.
Yeah.
But there's a very funny story. I think this goes back to 2012. 2012. And this was in Tehotto, which is now part of my constituency. And Mamata Di had come to Krishnanagar. She'd stayed the night in the circuit house and we were going to do a rally in Tehotto, which is, about 45 minutes.
Is she
drive
also
away.
as regimented as you?
Oh my God, she is the queen. Like, I will eat something once in a while. Didi is the most regimented person in the world. Really? She walks every day on the treadmill. She'll work out no matter where she is and what she does. Wow. She will work out no matter which country in the world she is, which district she is in. She is the most regimented person. And in terms of food, she is so regimented. I mean, honestly. Mm-hmm. So anyway, coming back to this really funny story. So we're going to do the meeting in Tehotto. So we leave from Krishnanagar, we're going in the car and we drive to Tehotto. Now this is a rural area, this is 2012. And there is a khorer gari, a cart with hay. Mm-hmm. And it is overturned in the middle of the road. Now it is blocking the road and you can't remove it. So the police come and say that, Didi was chief minister, that, oh, this khorer gari is overturned. So Didi is very impatient because obviously people are waiting there at the rally and they're waiting in the sun. So she says, oh, we'll walk. So someone says, how far is it? So you know how it is. When you ask villagers how far is it, they'll say, oh, it's just here. And so Didi is just here. So she 2 kilometers. And Didi said, all right, let's walk. So we all got down and started walking. And it was 11 kilometers.
Oh boy.
And I still remember we were walking and walking and walking. And Didi kept going. And, brave men were flailing. And it was exactly that. And I've got a very nice photo from that. I had an orange bag in those. There's a photo of me, that orange bag and green sari, and Didi, and we were walking, and we ended up walking 11 kilometers in that blazing sun to reach the site. And the place was full because they were all hearing that Mamata Di is walking and coming. And it was, one of the best meetings I remember, 2012. But there you go. She got off from the car, and we ended up walking 11 kilometers.
Does she have a good sense of humor?
She has a great sense of humor. She's hilarious.
Really?
She's hilarious.
She cracks you up. Any other anecdote that you'd want to give?
I know, but this is not a show speak about Mamata Banerjee's show.
Anything, any other, it doesn't have to be about Mamata Banerjee. Okay, well, tell me about yourself. Do you have a moment in your constituency?
I have hilarious moments in my constituency. So,
do
for
they
example,
get you?
now,
do they get intimidated?
The funniest, this is the funniest now. And this is the funniest. So, after my wedding, the workers came and they said, Didi, second innings, not out khelte hobe. They said, Didi, this is your second innings. You better play this one not out. Which I thought was the sweetest, funniest thing ever.
Oh, that is funny.
That's hilarious. They're like,
but the fact that you've got a sense of humor.
Yeah. They said, Didi, the second innings, you better be not out. And now everyone's like, they said, we don't care what you're celebrating and where you went and got married, but we are celebrating and we are dancing and singing and you're going to throw us the biggest party ever. So I'm obviously going to, no matter what I can run away from, I can't run away from throwing the biggest party in the constituency.
What are you going to serve?
Even the menu they've decided.
They've decided
the menu of what is going to be about and how many kilos the goat should be. It should be less than 12 kilos, less than 10 kilos.
Why?
The weight, because then the meat is just right.
I could say a moment of epiphany or anything like that, where you've been built for this in your constituency. Have you ever had an interaction where you remember that?
On a daily basis. On a daily basis. I mean, I have people, you think you're fighting in parliament and you're saying something and you go into your constituency and the most random, like I'm on a car and there are these, what is that, moringa plant. I love the moringa plant and they're always hanging down. So many often when you see a tree with moringa hanging down, I always put the window down and try and get a few. You can come home and cook it. And you'll find an old guy who's just wearing a lungi, no shirt on top. And he says, Biti, which means daughter. And he says, Biti, that day what you said was the best thing you said. You really shut them up. Oh, and he's sitting there in one little tea shop in the middle of nowhere watching me this and he'll say, Biti, what you said the other day. And I speak in English. And you would think that it doesn't reach everybody because my speeches in parliament are in English. But it's translated, they get it and he's actually adding to it. And he says, next time you say that.
Are they intimidated by you with the way you dress, the way you look?
No.
You look great.
No, why would they be intimidated? They
Those
look
big
lovely.
glasses.
No. They look lovely. And sometimes they'll say, take your glasses off. Show me. Take your glasses off. Dekhi to. Let me see your eyes. Like, take your glasses off. See your eyes. And, and when I went in this time, they said, where's your sindoor? Where are your bangles? So I said,
Are you the one for Sindhu?
No, I'm not. So I said, where are your sindoor? Where we came to see you and you're looking just the same. So they are all a bit upset that I'm looking just the same.
All right. So, last two questions. Mahua, the fact is, you're a woman. You say you're 50. You've led an unapologetic life. You know, those are certain cliches that have stuck with you. Fearless, feisty, unapologetic, you know, all of that.
Firebrand.
Firebrand.
That's
You know,
the
you must be
favorite.
getting tired of all of that. But it's important because a lot of women look at you, right? And some might disagree, but there is a bit of shock and awe. And that shock and awe also generates a bit of inspiration. And in our country, we are starved of that where women are concerned.
Yeah.
So do you understand that messaging is very important from the likes of you? So what is it that you'd like to, you know, maybe say to a lot of young women who are watching this?
My message, Preeti, one thing I would like to tell the young women in this country is that you have to be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. If you are who you are, then be true to yourself. Do not try and be somebody else. Very often, all too often, it's very easy to read what is the zeitgeist of the times and try and fit ourselves to it. And then, people think, oh, you're smart, but you're actually mirroring something that somebody's already said. Because if you've read To Kill a Mockingbird and if you've read A War and Peace, there's probably no reason to write a book. But yet every author who writes a book brings something new to the table. So similarly, if you're trying to ape somebody else, Mamata Banerjee is Mamata Banerjee because she is Mamata Banerjee. She's not trying to be anybody else. And so when you try to be somebody else, you will lose who every human being in this world is born different. And it is important that we celebrate that difference and we bring that to the table. It's very important to bring that to the table.
You talk about books.
That's the most important thing. So I would tell every young woman, I understand it may be easier for me. Maybe I had supportive parents. I had a lot of privilege that a lot of people don't have. I had a Mount Holyoke education. So it's probably not so easy for women to follow the path I did. But even within your limited sphere, try and be true to yourself.
You know, you talk about books, and there's also Margaret Atwood. And I think one line which has always stuck with me is that if you didn't want to create an army, you shouldn't have given us uniforms, where she was talking about women in general.
Yeah.
Do you think women in India watch out for each other? You're in parliament. You have 74 women.
Women, like I said, we look out for each other, but women also, when it comes to, can also be quite calculating when it comes to, would you disagree?
I'm not at all.
Yeah, so
Not at all.
women also can be quite calculating, like any other human being, as to what's best for them.
Because we were always taught to compete.
Yeah,
against
and
each
you're taught
other.
to compete and you're taught to survive. So if you've got, do I stick my neck out for another woman because she's a woman, or do I follow what I need to do to get ahead in life? Then most people choose what it is to choose, and that's the way the world is.
Is it changing?
No, I think that's true the world over. That's true the world over. It's not just true of women in politics. It's true of women in corporates. It's true of women in.
Is that
anything.
changing? Do you see that cycle turning now? You see more women come up and support each other, or do you think it's just the same?
No, I think people are getting more vocal. And you saw, I've seen a few cases. If you see the Priya Ramani case
Yeah.
and if you see that, you see a lot of cases like you saw for Bilkis Bano, for example. So Ashni Ali and I filed that appeal to put her rapist back in jail. And you'd be surprised at how many women came up and said, we're so glad you're doing that. So I do see that. So sometimes women in India, I think, are shackled, for lack of a better word, to come out and express themselves as freely as they would like, but they are feeling it. And when they meet you, for example, they do express that. So the first step is to feel it. The second step is to express it. So I think we're more and more women are feeling it.
All right, last two questions. What's a date night like?
What's a date night like? Dress up. Very important. Dress up. And
What's dress up?
dress up is, wear a nice sari, wear a nice dress, wear high heels. Very important. Lots of lipstick. Angel perfume.
Bobby Brown?
Angel perfume. Angel perfume. And date night is, if you're in Delhi, then maybe San Gimignano, the Imperial, which is nice for Italian. And So, and then very important, listening to lovely Hindi songs in the car. Sometimes we go round and round these roads listening to songs.
Oh, that's cute.
And if you're in the middle of a song and you've reached home, we'll say, okay, let's take one more chuckle till the song finishes.
Do you guys drive on your own?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
All right. So, what's on Mahua Moitra's to-do list?
To-do list right now is, are you talking big picture or are you talking micro?
both.
Give me both. But to-do list for tonight is, I'm actually going to try out this new recipe for lamb mince burgers.
Okay.
With cheese in the middle. So that's on the to-do list right after I finish this interview. And larger picture is be part of the movement that gets this government out of power.
All right. Well, I let it be at that.
So keema at home and hopefully keema of the BJP.
And so, what flower do you like? Are you a flower kind of like? Do you
Like in
enjoy
flower as in
flowers?
pool?
Pool. Are you
Oh, as in
are you a
pool.
girl or a woman who likes flowers? Yeah. Do you have a favorite?
I like lilies. I like lilies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like lilies. I like flowers.
Do you like presents?
I like presents.
You like everybody likes
I like
presents.
presents. I like presents. I like presents. And in fact, I like presents so much I always open them when I get them.
Well, we're going to let it be. I appreciate you taking the time out.
Thank you.
I
Thank you
wish
very
you,
much.
in all the cliches, more power because
Thank you, Preeti.
that's a word that's been often associated
Thank
with
you
you.
very
Good luck.
much.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
speaking
Thank
with
you.
us.